So the title of this video is how to replace the threshold in your house. But in my case, it could also be titled how to find out your house has termites. In my case, I had a threshold that needed to be replaced. It was worn, it's rotting. And in order to do that, I used my hammer and crowbar to loosen it up and take the stripping off up here. It was in there pretty tight. It was nailed in from the side, so in order to get it out, I did cut it in half and I pulled it away. This is when I discovered that I had a bigger problem, and actually I think I'm even luckier than I thought. It might just be ants. The nest was built in between two pieces of steel plating, and like I said, it could have been worse. It could have been a rat's nest or something. We have had mice sneaking in, and we've been trying to figure out where it was that they were coming in through. I now think it was through the front door, and so we're going to replace the threshold, but we're also going to put in a piece of wood on top of this here underneath the threshold to help keep some critters out. And then I found out that the front of my house and the entryway here had a piece of wood that was rotting and being turned into an ant nest. Luckily these aren't termites, they're just carpenter ants, and this is a little nest. It looks like it's a satellite nest. For the last few weeks we've seen just a few of these little black ants wandering through our house. They don't seem like they're hurting anything, they're just going through. We don't see them carrying food too often. So we just figured that they were carpenter ants that are passing through, and it looks like we found out where their nest is. Carpenter ants do not eat wood. They do burrow through it. They make galleries where they lay eggs, and as you can see in the video, they're tunneling and raising their young. If you'd like to learn more about carpenter ants, I'm going to make another video that talks about these interesting insects and how to exterminate them. Termites. So I'm going to replace that as well. So the tools that you're going to want to use are gloves, goggles, and a putty knife, a hammer, and a crowbar. If necessary, you may resort to using a saw also. To make this project easier, I'm going to take the door off of its hinges. In order to do that, I'm going to need two tools. A hammer, and you could use a Phillips screwdriver and go in from underneath, or a flathead and go in from the edge. I'm going to use a putty knife and a hammer, and I'll show you how I'll do that. Your flathead or your putty knife right in underneath the hinge. You get it underneath, and then you'll just take your hammer and you'll hit the pin out. I'm going to put a board underneath the new threshold. So I just went to my local home improvement store and I had them cut a board to the dimensions. They got it exactly right. It's a snug fit in here. I'm going to drill some holes, secure it in, get some caulk underneath there, and then the threshold's going to slide right on top of that base. I'm going to caulk underneath here while there's still a gap and before I drill the holes. Support board in place. I'm going to slide my threshold in. I'm going to hit it with a hammer and drill it into the board. So now it's in place, and I've got a little bit of an overhang now, which is perfect because I've got this other board that I'm going to put up right here. I've still got to cut it down to size, but I'm going to replace that wood that was rotting with a new piece of treated wood. So I've got to cut this down to size and drill that in. You definitely tell them that my door frame really needed to be repainted. So I've sanded it down, and while I'm waiting for the cured wood, I painted a sealant on it. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and paint my door frame as well. So while painting, I clearly decided to repaint the door as well. The door frame has been touched up. It looks really good. I'm going to apply another coat of paint and call this project done. Okay, so we repainted the door, we put up a new threshold, we put up a new storm door, we replaced some rotting wood, and we repainted the frame. So this was a bigger project than we thought when we went into it, as a lot of home improvement projects can be. But I hope you found it useful, I hope you enjoyed it. Click on anything down below if you like the video, like it, and bye.